go. How is everyone doing? As always, we're getting ourselves set up, and hopefully it works. I always keep my fingers crossed through this. I really do. Okay. I think we are there. Yes. Well, like I said, good morning, everyone. I hope everyone's had a good week, and we're going to have a good week. Today, we are just going to have a play. Just a complete play. We're talking mixed media Ganza is going to go here. Good morning, Cordelia. I'm so happy you got your album done or whatever you did for the idea book. And, we always say choice words as we craft. It makes it interesting. That's at least what I feel. Loved all your goodies, too. Okay. So, like I said, we are pulling out all kinds of mixed media. We're going to use some pattern paper. We're going to use some acrylics, some inks, some scrap black paper, some stencils. I'm going to use a few of my stamps for borders. Yeah. And we're going to make cards. Right? Yeah. Sometimes, when I did that one, wow, it just went. It was like right on for me sewing in those signatures. But then there are other days, oh, many times they had to be ripped out because I put them in upside down because the cover was off. It was, yeah, I feel it. I get you. I absolutely get you. Yeah, I was pretty surprised that it just went smooth. It just went smooth. Holly, good morning. How are you? So yeah, I think, it all depends on what we do. No, I have trouble more times than not sewing those in. Anthony, good morning. All right. Like I said, we are going to have fun with mixed media, and it's going to have a theme. It's going to have like a steampunky grunge theme. So if it's vintage steampunk or grunge, yes, and Christmas and florals. Those are the themes that I usually go with, literally. As we. Okay, everyone was having problems sewing journals. I am so sorry. Maybe because I had an easy time with mine. I don't know. Maybe I, pushed that on. But those are usually the themes that I go with. Christmas floral, vintage, steampunk, and grunge. And again, it's not for everyone. And what really inspired me for what I'm thinking they're going to look like are these adorable steampunk cats. Oh, look at these cats. They are just precious. Now, this digital download is by Faber Arts Co. from Etsy. They are just absolutely precious. They're regal looking. I don't know. These cats were very inspiring for me when I saw them when I was just cruising around. And of course, we have to go into the puppies because hello, there's a corgi. There's a corgi. I love corgis. Corgis are my favorite. I miss my corgi every day. Yes. But hello. So yes, we went with the dogs to also be fair because not everyone's a cat lover. I don't know how, but there's sometimes. But that just, when I saw that, I'm like, okay. So these are the puppies. Look at god, oh my god. They're just too cute. Too cute. And then I resized them if I wanted them different sizes, because that's the beauty of our luck. When we print a digital, we can resize it. So those are the two that we're going to work with. I think down the road, from Pink Lake Studio, I found these funny animals. Hello? The pig in the tub. Yeah. I'm just saying, the penguin typing. And I think these would make absolutely adorable birthday cards. So we'll be brushing his teeth. Oh my god, yay. I just thought these were adorable as well. So Pink Lake Studio, he's eating the house. Pink Lake Studio for those adorable ones, and Fable Arts Co. for the steampunk kitties and puppies. So that's going to be our focal point. And again, when I saw these like 2 weeks ago. I'm like, oh yeah. But then it just grew into this mixed media, pulling in all kinds of different things. And I think the reason why the mixed media came in is the project. So I did finish the Scrappy Tales pop-up book. Yep. Yes, I did. And I will show it to you right now. I will not let you all wait until the end. No, I will not do that. So this video is going to be coming out this week. And here is the album. And I call it an album. It is still a pop-up because we have the accordion in there. I used acrylic paints for the back. Here's our die cuts. I reused those leftover koi fish that I have. And here's the back. I could have moved that over. And again, I switched up how the book went together because we can do that. We can create different things. And then our inside, I took one of the leftovers that I had for the large blossom, and then that is our scene. And again, the back is one of her dies, and I used acrylic paints to paint that background, and then everything else is just die cut. And these panels, the way that it was measured, so this measures 5 1/4 by 5 1/4. So then these pieces here, down here, were cut to 5 inches tall and then kept the natural width from the die. And then I just used vintage photo and some ink with a brush, and you'll get to see how all of this came about. And that is our book. So you will see this later on this week. So you guys saw the pile of die cuts. This took a total of 7 hours from start to finish. And I did it over a span of 4 days. Yeah. It was a while. But you will see this, and the video will be sped up. It will have voiceover and all of that fun stuff. Okay, so that's coming. All right, so let's get started. I do have base panels so that I can work on those. These are scrap. This is cardstock that I'm not thrilled with. It's like, 20 pound, almost, maybe 32. So I just use it for my bases, and they are cut down. We're going to be making some 5 1/2 by 5 1/2 cards, and some 5 by 6 1/2. And those are those pre-packaged card bases that I'm still going through that are awesome. Absolutely love them. Love them. So This is cut to 4 3/4 by 6 1/4. And then this one's cut to 5 1/4 by 5 1/4. So those are going to be our bases. So that when we put them on our card bases, we're going to have that border that's going to go around. And it'll strengthen these up just a little bit. I mean, these are nice. They're sturdy. I mean, they're good. It's a card base. But they're not what you may typically use. So we have that. I've pulled out some Distress inks. Of course, Vintage Photos, part of it. I've pulled out my black scraps. The only thing that I need to pull out are my white scraps. Where are they? Here we go. Because we are just going to have some fun stamping. And I am going to use this stamp here. We're going to create borders out of this. Same thing with this. I'm going to use this as a border. So I'm only going to be stamping part of it. And then the same thing with this one. And I'm not sure if I'm going to use that one. This one's kind of up in the air, but it does look steampunky. So that's the game plan. Dama, good morning. How are you? Ove, good morning. Okay, so here we go. Let's just get right into it. So what I am going to do is I'm just going to do all of my stamping first. So, because then I'm not going back and forth and driving you all crazy, right? Yeah. So let's do that. Let's get these over here. And again, I'm using my scrap white because we're going to do all kinds of things with this as well. And we'll put that there. Let's start with, not that one. Did I not just say I wasn't going to use that one? Did I not just say that? It's been a bad morning. It's just things where I think it's going to go. Nope. It doesn't. And then the sentiments that are going to go on these. You know, I was doing really well with my no-buy, and I am still doing very well. So let me just say that. I am doing very well. But the rabbit hole were some awesome, sarcastic sentiments. Oh, I'm a sucker for those. I really am. Alright, let me grab a piece of copy paper. And I'm just going to put this in on the other side that's exposed here of the sticky mat so my stamp doesn't stick. And then we still have it on this side. And I'm going to just keep grabbing scraps for a little bit and just keep stamping on them because some of them I think I want in brown, and I'm going to be using archival ink when it comes to this as well. So I'm going to stamp it 3 times when it comes to what I'm looking to do. And I should probably do this on my, now that I'm thinking of it, which I'm going to grab them. Yeah. See? Plan changed automatically. Yes! So these are my scraps, Bristol and watercolor. What's on that? We want them tall. Alright, so that one. That one. So I always keep my offcuts. And basically for this reason, I will keep the offcuts. I just know that I'm going to be pulling in water, and I'm not worried if it's watercolor paper, if it's Bristol, because I keep both of them in here. And I'm just pulling the more skinnier ones because I know those are the ones that I want to use. There we go. Let's grab these. Let's get that back down in the corner. So, I got together with my sister yesterday. And nothing became a projectile. Let's see if I'll be able to pick that up. Yes, so we'll keep it like that. And we're starting slow. I did not expect her to be able to pick this up with everything. So she's still working on the chain. So for those of you that don't know, I am teaching my sister how to crochet. And she is an avid cross stitcher. This is why paper has two sides. This is going to be a long life. I can feel it now. She is an avid cross stitcher. That is what she does. That's what she's only ever done. She never got into sewing. She never got into just any other craft. No. The only time she sews is if she's finishing one of her cross stitch pieces. I like that. So this is what we're going to do. I just want that piece to work around. Now I think where did I put there's my cleaner. So yeah, she never wanted, I mean, and don't get me wrong, me and my mom, we tried to get her to at least try them. And she was not having it. She just did not want to go there or anything else. She has since retired and is enjoying life. I'm going to change the archivals. Yep, they're coming out. They are coming out. So she's trying all kinds of new and different things, which I think is cool. She's already done felting. She made a cute little bunny bun. It was adorable. Absolutely adorable. And she's tried all kinds of other things. So she's just enjoying it. But for some reason, she did want to learn how to crochet. And for the life of me, I have no idea why. But she did. So we got over there early. What did I do? Found it. As I said, we got there early. And she is in the process of making the longest chain. So that she could get used to the movements of crocheting. And I have to admit, by the time I left, her hand coordination, it was changing. It was starting to get used to it. So we are all safe. And yes, I'm just stamping over. I am not cleaning in between. I am not worried about contamination. I don't believe that I'm going to get that contamination. After I do the one stamp, that's when I'll clean. That's when I'm going to come in and do that. And now because of the archival, my stamp's going to be half stamped. It's awesome. Oh, and that's okay. That's why we have stamps. So yeah, it was fun. And it didn't take me as long as what I thought. Cordelia, I love cross stitching too. That's something that I did. Where does that? Oh, that came from in there. I don't get to do it as often, but when me and my sister get together, I know, relax. I hear you, Cordelia. That's usually when I'll pull that out, and it's usually in the first, maybe the first couple times that we get together. So we get together every quarter for the weekend, and we create our own retreat. And 2 times I'm at her house, and then 2 times she comes here. And we just have fun. You know, crafts, eating, snacks. Yeah. I think I want that to look just like that. So yeah, so we create our own, and you know, we do swag bags too for each other. So like when she comes here, she gets a swag bag. We're funny. Yeah. But that's usually when, because then the last 2 that I'm working on stuff for the, I'll actually bring my stuff for the showcase that I do in December, and I'll get all the die cuts together there, and we're work on pieces that I can just do there. Whether it's paper beads, because I'm making phone charms and tumbler charm things. Excuse me. That's one of my new items this year. Maddie, good morning. So really just the first two. And then we do also get together one Tuesday. There's a club that we're a member of. The first Tuesday of each month. I do have to say, the VersaFine Claire ink does stamp very well. I'm just saying. I know, I'm hearing you all. Alright, I am going to remove that. But I'm not going to go crazy with it. Which one did I do? Is that the brown? Yeah. It's kind of a dark brown, though. But that's alright. We'll still go with it. And then there I tried to cross stitch there, but by the time I get everything out, it's time to go. Because I'm talking. Imagine that. So there I actually bring my Zentangle. I tangle there with the ladies. And work on my projects. But it was, and it didn't take her long too. So, and I kept on telling her, look, if you're finding you're not liking this, you stop now. Don't continue. And keep going. I am not going to force you. Now, this one, I'm going to do both sides on this one, I think. I think this is too long, but we're going to get that in there. Because I'm going to get two different looks on this one. And then I think, are these all the same size? Let's make sure. Yes. Yes, because then I know that can just stay right there for those. And these can go back. So yep, scraps. Now I'm wondering if I could... Let's see if this works. What does that look like? Alright, let's get that center just a little bit more. We'll see. Alright, let's start with our gray. I know, Maddie, you do. We do. We do swag bags for each other. Yes. We honestly do. Now, when it comes to the food, I have to admit it's a much more pleasant experience at her house because my sister don't cook. We like to say she married well because her husband does all the cooking. And he's a phenomenal cook. Oh, yes. Him and I, we love talking about cooking. because I'm not a baker. My sister's the baker. I bond with Betty Crocker brownies. Or the version that's on sale. Just saying. So when I go to her house, we can relax. We can just sit there and just have all kinds of fun. We don't have to worry about food. When she comes here, I'm that person. I married well, but I did not marry well because my husband does not cook. He grills. Grills phenomenally. Yes. Absolute phenomenal griller. Yep. So I make sure I plan those meals to make sure he grills. So, but when she comes here, then, yeah, I gotta cook. So part of my time is spent in the kitchen. So I do make sure that things are prepped ahead of time. And usually Sunday is a snacky day. Get the veggies out. Meats and cheeses. Pick with what you want. We're going to go with it. Okay. Stamping's done. Yay. Now I threw that plastic thing somewhere. Found it. Alright, now the only stamping we have left is for the sentiments. We're just going to put that back in there. So yeah, good time yesterday. Better than what I hoped for. Because she said on Friday, I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow. This is exciting. And I came back with, yeah, I'm looking through my liquor cabinet. So, just saying. I was hopeful. I was hopeful. So I do like the Claire. They are wonderful. I just, for some reason, I smear them. And I'm not worried about if I smear these, actually, because we are going to add some distress inks to these and water. So we're just going to slap it all down. And it's not going to be the perfect way. So I'm just getting these on here. So I'm just creating that border. So here I chose saltwater taffy. And we are literally just going to, I want to see what happens if I swipe it. Woo, okay. Yeah, I was nervous. Just saying. So I want that to go down. I've got speckled egg. I've got salvage patina. This is just a quick way to get your colors down. I do have Mariner. Okay, that'll work. It's a little darker. And then I've got Villainous Potion. And that one's very dark, because of course I put it on the black, or the gray, but that's okay. And we're going to let them dry. That's what we're doing. Yes. And I'm even pushing them together, because if the colors bleed, I'm good with that too. All right, so let's choose our colors a little bit different. And I'm hoping, fingers crossed. So let's do Speckled Egg on this one. Let's do Saltwater Taffy on this one. And these are the colors that are going to pop against all of the other items that I have. And I'll show the digital. So if anyone's just come in, we are doing a mixed media day. Now you can also bring in a brush. Burp. See if you can move that, and if not, it's okay too. That one's going to be more splotchy. I'm not quite sure what that paper is. And then our last two. Oh, where's my other board? I know I have one. There it is. So I was perusing. I'm not sure what this is. The internet on Etsy. And I came across these digitals. All right, so they are set. They will dry while we do all the other things. And these are by Fabric Arts Co. Steampunk cats. Oh my god, they are adorable. Fell in love with them. So that kind of started it. And then I saw she also, Fable Arts Co. had dogs and corgi. I had to have the dogs for the corgi. So those are the digitals, and that's where this rabbit hole started. When it comes to all of the mixed media that we're doing today, we're pulling in acrylic paints, we're pulling in scraps, we're pulling in torn backgrounds, all of this. You saw what I just did. Again, taking some stamps, any stamps that you have. I chose mine. To create a border piece that's just going to come off of this just a little bit. And then we're going to be working on our, I just put my hand in water, and I'm going to be working on a design base, and then we'll put it to our card base itself. So pull out everything that you've got. Just have fun with it. I found these papers, but I like some of the backgrounds because they already have like glitter on them. This is from, I think it's called Once Upon a Time. This is an old paper stack. And these are just some of the papers that I had left. But I just loved some of the designs. Again, looks grungy. I mean, this already has all that glitter that I can pull in. You know, they're dark. They're not bright, so that's why I chose some of the colors that I did with my Distress inks when it comes to that. So we're going to cut those up. And then this is the smaller stack that I have, and this is from 2013. Wow. Just Galinda, good morning. Oh no. No, Galinda, we're all good. So yeah, very, very old. I think I got this from AC Moore's. Oh, I missed my AC Moore. So these are just smaller prints if I wanted to. But I just like the way that they've got the embossed areas and all of that. All right, so let's choose our cat. I'm going to go with this one real quick. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to go right across because I think all of these are great. And then let's choose our puppies. All right, he's just cool. So we're going to go straight across on these too. And again, this digital's by Fable Arts Co. on Etsy. So, and like I was saying, when it came to all the mixed media, you'll see the Scrappy Tales album come out, and I'll re-show it at the end. And I pulled in acrylic paints for that too. So I think that's what, you know, sometimes if we just add things that are in our stash that we haven't used in a while, it brings back that love. And that, you know what, yeah, I want to use that. I want to put all this together and get back into that. We don't have to do art journals to do mixed media. We can put it on our cards. Why not? All right. So those are just some of our focal points. We'll see if we can get through them all. Oh, do you, Holly? You have that paper too? It's just awesome. It is awesome paper. Now, what I am going to do with these, so for me, when I do a background that is, I'm looking at my panels here. I think that paper is that other, I'm not quite sure what that other paper was. When we're doing a background that, for me, when it's this busy, we may, even though these are, you know, they're going to stand out, they're going to be there, I still frame them. And that's where my scrap black cardstock is going to come in. And I'm just going to put them down and put a thin border around them. And I need a white background here because I cannot see that black paper. Oh, well now this is bent up. And I want to, I'm actually going to use scorched timber for this one. Right? It is, Maddie. It's if I just came across, I don't even know how I got to it. I forget what I was searching for. And these just popped up. And at that point, I didn't know that she also had the dogs. So very cool. And um, she had other nice elements as well. But these were just, I'm like, oh yeah. So I've been hanging on to these and staring at them, saying, okay, I need to get to my live. And then I needed another reason just for the, I'll show you the sentiments that I had got. And then some of the other ones that I already had for sarcastic sentiments. Because they just make it fun, and this is going to drive me crazy. And now it's not going to drive me crazy anymore. And if anyone's, remember, if you've got any questions, just put some capitals in there. Linda, good morning. I hope you were doing well. And then, yeah, I'm just going to keep putting them down on these strips. And then we'll cut them out. Can I get one more on here? Yes! How did I get glue my finger there? Okay. Oh, please. Oh, yeah, you just fit. I love the corgi. So I did open up communities as well. I had said that last week too. So you guys can show things that you're working on. I do have it so that I can moderate that because I found out it's a learning curve for me because I know Gwen had already posted in there. And of course I couldn't figure out how I could comment back. You gotta love technology. And me, I just jump right in. I don't read anything, which is really bad. I should really start doing that. But I did figure it out. So, just know that that is opened. You start seeing those things. And I think it's another tab. I have to go in as if you guys are going in to see what you guys see. Because I do that under incognito. To make sure things are working and things are actually functioning there the way that they should. So So, but it was cool. It was cool to see, to know that at least that part's working. You guys can post if you want. You don't have to. But you don't have to post. You can start a conversation on things. If you have a question, not only I can answer, but others can. But again, I do have it on moderation, to be moderated, because, again, I want it to be a nice space. All right, so these here are our focal points. And your focal point can be anything. You know, if you are a floral person, you can do the same thing. If you want to do a digital, just look for florals. And even if they're full page, you can resize them down onto like 8 to a page so that they'll be this size, which is perfect for it to be your focal. So again, this can be any theme. I'm just choosing to have that steampunkish, grungy look to it. Because these and the sentiments are going to be the last things that go on to our base. All right, because our bases are just going to have these different elements in the background. So I'm going to grab one of our backs. So we are making, tell you what, let me dry this, Linda, and I will be right back. Okay, so we are making cards, and these are the focal, but we're having a mixed media gala. Acrylic paints are going to come in, iridescent, mainly acrylic paints, stencils, pattern paper scraps, pattern paper with glitter already on it, and we're just having a Mod Podge in the back. So I took some of my stamps to create a border of some type, because this could sit anywhere here. Now, it would also be cool if we took the smaller ones and we could make them wings coming off of these as well. Oh, that would be cool. Oh, that would be cool. You know, to just have those coming through. And I think that is what I want to do. So we are just having a fun play. Oh, I don't know how she does that. I just, I just do not know how she does that. I gotta use my smaller scissors. And we are just digging into our stash with what we have. Remembering, for me, it's remembering the fun with mixed media. Because sometimes I think, okay, mixed media, it's got to be an art journal. No, we can do it on our cards too. Because I used to, in the beginning, I had a lot of acrylic paints. And I would actually, and I didn't have a lot of inks. So I would actually use acrylic paints for my backgrounds. And just put a thin coat down and go to town. And all that fun stuff. And why not? It's just a different look. Oh, and fun note. So when you use your heat gun to dry acrylic paints, and there's like a thick area, it bubbles. Just saying. It bubbles. It just has a bubble effect. Yeah. So, too funny. So we, just be careful if you're trying to force dry your acrylics. This is a design base. For those of you that just came in, I always do work off of a design base 9.9% of the time, because I don't want to mess up my my card base. So that's kind of the look that I'm going for when it comes to that. This pollen. Wow. Okay. I'm hoping with the rain that we just got, it'll tap down the pollen, because it has been really bad, and I don't. Okay, I guess I need to. I didn't want to grab another thing. There we go. All right. So now I'm just going to go around this, and then I know that's set. All right, now for the base itself, we are just going to have fun. So I have some spare, all right, I can use my big scissors for this one. Some spare sheets that have like glitter on them or embossing, or they just looked grungy, which is what I'm looking for. So we're just going to pick these apart. And just have fun with the designs that are on these. So we're going to do lots of tearing. Because those scissors are definitely going to get in my way. Put that there. And not all of them have the glitter. On them. So if I put that there, put that there, this is going to come up. That's going to sit there. And now I need one. Oh no, that one's for something special. Yeah, I didn't want to do that. I want that. And I can take this piece here and just push that back there. All right. So this one and this one are going to get glued down. I don't have to worry. And then I'm going to trim off the edge. This one I do want to ink. We'll get that glued down. Because I didn't ink the edges on this one because we're really not going to see it. Just where's that little piece? I need to glue that scrap down. So I need to get that tucked right there. There. And I need that to curl up real quick because I do want to ink those edges. So if we see an edge, it will get inked. If we don't see an edge, it's not going to get inked. So that's just going to continue off that. And then this one's going to go here. Now, do we have to overthink it? No, you could just ink all the sides and then you don't have to worry about it. But remember, we always do have those 12 by 12 papers. I'm not, I mean, I do, very rarely. I'm not a scrapbook page creator. Not sure where that's sitting, so we'll just hit that. So when it comes to these large 12 by 12s with all of this beautiful design, you can use bits and pieces of it and put it into your master board if you don't want to, you know, add your stamps or add, you know, whatever it is that you did want to add. All right, and then that's going to sit there. So this is a good way to incorporate those pieces. Or again, you can use them as your masterboard bases. Whatever you would want to do. But I think it would be, that glitter might cause an issue. So I'm going to use it another way. And we are keeping all of our scraps over here off to the side so I can just keep pulling from them. All right, so now that we have this done, you can see that this is going to go right on top. We can still see the glitter and all of that, but now here comes the fun. So I just grabbed some odd stencils. So I know I want that one. And of course we've got some gears. Gotta have some gears. I so have to find another way to store all these. I like that checkered. This would be cool if you tangled on it, put Knight's Bridge on it. Just saying. And then we've got these. Okay, that's a mask. I don't want the mask. I should put all my masks together for gel printing. We should do that one day. All right. So these are all of the fun things that we have. So I'm thinking, that's big. That's really big. I know I want this one to come up here. Just a little bit. Again, if you hear my cat, that's because he's snoring. And then I do want think we're going to put those butterflies right there. Yeah. All right, butterflies. So I found these. These are iridescent galaxy tones. And yes, they are by Arteza or Arteza, however you pronounce it, which I don't think, I'm not sure if they're still around. And they're just kind of fun colors. They're supposed to be color changing. So we're going to find out. Playful pink. There's the blue. Let's pull out some colors. What's the glowing peach? Where's my glowing peach? I can't find my glowing peach. Glowing peach. And then electric plum purple. Fun colors, or fun names. Alright, so we're going to play with those. And then I also pulled out some just plain metallics. And then I also have my fine liner bottle. So we're going to have fun. I'm going to take my Aztec. I'm going to take my copper because I want to first do this one. And I'm going to use a brush to put this stuff on. All right, let's see if these are even still good. This should be fun. So, Maddie, a design base, yeah, it could also be a card panel. I just call them a design base. So that's where, and it's cardstock or paper. It's you look and say, oh, that's a good deal. And you make a purchase on it, and then you realize, yeah, so not. So I have a bunch of this cream color paper, and I think it's like 30-pound weight. So I use that for a card base. So if I know, okay, I have a 5x7 card, I will cut it down, and if I want to, if I'm doing like mixed media like we're doing today, or a lot of watercoloring and all of that stuff, then, and now we've just got that little tiny bit on there. And what's great is when you use these, you don't have to kill yourself to clean your stencils. I'm just saying. It's not like a paste. So that I'll work on that and then take it to my card base. So I just call it a design base because I'm actually doing all those things up on there with that. I think I'm going to stick with the copper on this one for right now. And I'm not looking for the impression to be perfect. I just want it to be in the background. Like that. So that when you turn it, you'll see it. And then when I'm done, as I'm working, I have a pot of water here, and I'll take this and I'll just put this right into the water. And then when we're done, I'll just wash them out. All right, so now we've got that. All right, so and because it's acrylic, this should be dry. Yes! The little things, just, create excitement. All right, and I think I'm gonna go over that. I kind of want that to stand out a little more. So I'm going to go over it with Scorched Timber, just to have it be a little darker. There he is. Oh, can I get that tucked up under there? Don't worry. We're just want that to get underneath that. All right, so that's where that's going to go right there. So by doing this and making this look like a wing, yes, I've already started on the fall winter collection. There will be one coming out. And yeah, wait, yeah, okay. That's a hint to say. I'm going to take this and I want to prop this up. Thank goodness that wasn't water. That would have been horrible if that was water. Really? I have no idea where I got these, but oh my goodness. But we're going to use it up. We're using it up. So, okay. So, Maddie, I hope I answered your question now that I'm back on that. Oh, okay. Yeah, I could have sworn um I could have sworn I was watching something and somebody, and this was a while ago, somebody had made mention of it, that they were bought out. Which I was kind of well, not upset, sad. They made, or they had a sketchbook that, phenomenal. Thick weight paper, and it had a slight texture to it, but it awesome to tangle in. It was the perfect paper. It's like that packing watercolor paper that I have that's very reasonably priced. All right, now we're going to get, I'm just going to put some glue on those. I'm not quite, it's funny, we put glue on one side, but we don't put it on the other side like it's going to hold. Just saying. And we're going to put that down. There we go. Steampunky grunge. It's got a lot of mixed media going on here. And of course, we're going to add some black splatters. We can also add, let me get that in my water. You heard that clink? I'm going to add some crackle paste. And this is translucent because I don't want to add white to this. And the thicker you put it on, the better. So I'm just going to put it there. And let's see what it does. So that's what we're doing. Well, I want to, did I just, yeah, I did. All right. Yeah, see, once you get it on, you should not play with it. Don't do what I do. There we go. Let's move on to the next one. So I'm going to set this aside to dry, and let's see if that crackles up. I love crackle. And then I'll cover this, and then we'll add splatter. You knew splatter was going to come in. And I think our panels, yes, they're pretty much dry for the most part. So we can just, and I don't, as I said, I don't care if the colors blend. So we have these different looks. So this has a different texture. This kind of hold, this probably was not something that I should have had in there, but I like the look. I mean, I like the way that, oh, I like how that different color came in there. I love when you see the two different colors when you add water stuff. Here you get more of the grain. So again, you're just getting those different textures, streaks. This one's not seen, so I'll use it for something else. This one you can tell was a watercolor paper just by the way it, you know, moved and dried. And then we got that. And we got that. All right. So now we've got open spaces to put our cards. Let's do the next one, shall we? Yes. All right. So now I have this one. I am so running out of room. I don't know how I do this. Well, yeah, I do know how. And I don't need that. That opened up a spot. So if you have those large 12 by 12 panels, and I'm not talking, I mean, even, you know, there's ones like they have the, like maybe the big ring, or they have the saying, and if you're not going to frame them, because that's what a lot of people do with them, they just frame them, which is perfect, honestly, to just do that. Look at what the pattern is. We're going to do Mr. Corgi there for this one. And then just take a piece of it and incorporate it, you know, into what you're doing. All right, now for him, I would like the dark blue, because I want to see what this looks like. Now this one I'm going to tear around as best as I can. I just know some of the sentiments that I'm going to be pulling in. And again, I'm focusing in on these glitter pieces. I watched a hysterical movie yesterday. or last night. Sometimes when my husband says, "Hun, let's watch this movie together," I get a little nervous with what he you know, there's certain movies that, you know, there's certain types of movies I don't like to watch. And there are certain movies that he does like to watch. um let's see, do I want this? And I don't know, have you guys seen The Family Plan with Gwen is at another event. She's going to have to watch the replay, Cordelia. Yes, she let me know that. It's with Mark Wahlberg, which still cracks me up that he was Marky Mark. That movie was absolutely hysterical. And I saw that they have a Family Plan 2. So I will be watching that one tonight. I need something. I found it. Just, y'all knew I need something there. Oh, that's perfect. Okay, I gotta cut that one out because I don't want to lose that. And I'm not worried that the Y is coming across it. But that's going to go right across like that. And then Mr. Corgi Guy is going to sit there. All right, let's get our pieces down. And let's see if I can remember how they go. It was hysterical. It was absolutely hysterical. I never laughed. It was just a good movie. So if you haven't seen it, it is definitely a movie to see. And very intriguing to watch. Mark Wahlberg's built very well. I just wanted to throw that out there. Just, I'm just saying. All right, now let me trim this off. Get those out of my way. What's Kalinda, what is that? I'm not even sure I'm going to attempt to pronounce it. Chudidar? What is that? Am I saying it wrong? I know I'm saying it wrong. All right, and then we're going to have this one come here. And I wanted that one actually to go down lower. There we go, because I still want to see that. And then we'll glue this one down. And now we want to get this one down. And I think I'm just going to tear that one right there. And of course I didn't do it right, but that's okay. Because we can come in with another color or one of our scraps. And before I put that down, that's where I need it. So we can use one of these. Of course I didn't trim it long enough. And we'll go right in the middle. And we'll put that. So yeah, if you're looking for a movie to watch, that's one. It's a fun one. And it's got some good twists and turns. All right, let's trim. And I'm going to hold off putting the band on, of course, because I do want to do the same thing. I want to stencil on our pieces. And I think this, I just want to stencil down here. Where is that one? Although it would be cool if I went right up. But let me get our little guy out of the way so I don't make a mess. And we'll hold this here and hold that there. I'm going to use one of these fairy tales. I'm going to see what it does. And this is Fairy Tale Blue. Okay, I never opened it. Oh my god. Oh, okay. Well, these are fun. That's got a bubble in there. Or it's filled to the top. Oh, that was a bubble. It was a bubble. Alright, so it's got like some pinks and purples in there. So basically I clean the brushes off like we would a brush as much as you can. And then I just rub it on a towel. And I just keep using the same one. But I'll rub that back and forth just to get as much water as I can out of it. And now we're going to go straight up. And see what this does. Oh, fun. Okay. Fun, fun, fun. kind of cool. And it does. It does change colors. Okay. It's kind of different. Kind of like it. It's kind of cool. Kind of cool. All right. Now for this one, I want to grab this. And we're just going to put that there. And I think I'm going to use silver because we can. Silver. Just going to set that off to the side. Now we got that. Okay. Chew D dark. Okay. Oh. Okay. Whenever you visit. Nice. Well, that is awesome. And this is another reason why I do a design panel, because this is just getting marked up and it's all getting on the back. And I'm okay if it gets on the back with that. All right, so now this I need to ink around. And I don't have to worry about that top. We inked around our little guy. So now I'm going to get this here. And I think that's where it's going to go. Because then this guy's going to go here. Yes. So we're going to get this glued. What time is it? Okay, we're good. Now I'm just going to hold that down. We got a lot going on here. And this, we're going to tear that there. And we're going to tear that there. And now we're going to get this glued down. And I am actually going to bring that off this edge here, and I'm going to make it flat on this edge. And then that'll hold that down. And then this, I'm going to use these horrible things because we're using it up. I like the height. I do like the thicker foam squares. Even if sometimes, most of the times, if I use those, the lower ones, I double them up. I love dimension. I absolutely love dimension. The more the merrier. And I know it does, you have to have a bigger envelope sometimes, usually. And it does add postage. And unfortunately, postage is constantly going up. But I do love my dimension. Have that. We'll grab our crackle paste. And I think I'm going to put it up along this top. Let's see. And again, don't play with it. Just get it on there and don't. And again, the thicker you put it on, the better it works. All right. And we'll leave that one like that. All right, I think I have time to make one, maybe two more. Yeah, I bet that the word that I cannot pronounce, chudidar, I bet they're beautiful. I'll have to look them up. All right, that's too thick. Gotta play with that just a little bit. Okay, that's that one. So again, we get these pops of colors of everything that's kind of, in a way, majestic, you know, regal colors. And this is still drying. This is, yeah. Okay, it is crackle paste. I just wanted to make sure it was crackle paste. Just saying. Just saying. All right, where's our cats? So let's choose, I love that one. He's adorable too. I like this one. The ears. The ears. Just saying. All right, so here's our next one. And I'm going to go to a 5. It's technically 5 by 6.5 card base. And that's okay. All right, let's get... I know I want this. That. And I'm going to cut these words away because I like that squiggle. It's a technical term. So yeah, look at your, when you look at your 12 by 12s, you know, make sure you're looking at them to say, okay, yeah, I can use that, or, oh, I can use that piece. I'm going to have that go to the top, the opposite. that. And we're going to have that. I wanted it. Nope, can't save it. And that's what we got with that one. And we're going to have do that. And I think I want to add, oh, that's too bright. Oh yeah, like that one. But do I have, no, no, oh, I like that one. All right. Oh, I think I'll tear this one again. Now, if you also don't have like large stamps like this to create that borders, or you don't have any border stamps or border dies or anything like that, I mean, you could always, if you have stencils, you could use those to create that border. And you can make anything you want to be a border. Anything at all. So I'm going to put that. And I want, or I need. Let's not say want. We need. Now I know I have yep. And we'll put that one like that. I'm not liking that straight edge, which, you know, again, we can always hide it. Why not? And we can set him there. Oh, but it doesn't stand out, and it's covering up my thing. Maybe if I tear it differently. Oh, Max. You're having a dream. What happens if I put that there? Hello. That works. That works. Please tell me that's vintage photo. Yes. And if they don't crackle by the time we're done, that's not a problem. Okay, so I'm going to start from the top and work my way down. We'll force it. I'll use my heat gun and see if I can get it to crackle so that you can see it. Alright, we're going to get that there. And we'll get that one there. I think this one's next. Oh, if it's not, it is now. So... put that one down. But I really like that. I definitely want that there. We'll keep that. And our final. All right, now we trim and we cut. Where? Found them. Oh, I didn't think we were going to see the sun today. That is awesome. And that means my husband will soon be coming up saying, "Hun, I'm going to the golf course." All right, let's see. So let's look at our stencils again. We have this little one. I really like that. And I think I want to do copper again. I really like the look of the copper. We'll put a little one down here. I don't know how much we'll see it, but we'll put it down there. And because I work in threes, I've got to put that there too. Just saying. Alright, so we got that. And I think, well, I know, we are going to stick with the copper. We are going to add some rings. And then I want to add this here. Again, with your stenciling, you're just adding an illusion that's back there. That's cool. You don't have to worry if it's, you know, perfect. And that'll be dry now for next time. All right. And then we are going to add, where's my little guy? Oh. I do want to use the, oh no, that works. My fine liner with the gold ink. Oh my. Okay. I have no idea what brand these are, in case anyone's wondering. I do not know. I just know that I really hope that I don't buy them again. Now that these are on my hand, we'll just put those there and there. And let's see, can I flip that back? Yes. At least the release papers come off. And of course, as I said that, they don't. Let's get that glued down first. And I am, for these pieces, I am adding more glue because we got a lot of layers going on here. Oh boy. So I want to make sure that it goes over each of those. And then, yeah, for this one, I don't think I'm going to put crackle paste on this one. I'm going to use my fine liner. So I'm just going to add some gold dots. Carefully. So, now I got to make these bigger. You can follow the line of our paper. So bubble. And we can just add accents to our cup. All right. So that one. So again, you don't always have to use pastes. You can use inks. Just because it's a card doesn't mean that we can't add anything we want to it. Now, when you stamp, yes, you do need to have, you know, some type of ink. It doesn't mean that we all have not tried and have successfully used acrylic paints with rubber stamps. I tried acrylic paints with my clear stamps, and no, it was not a good deal. They will clean, but they don't clean completely. And it was just a background stamp. I was glad I wasn't too connected to it. Yeah. The same. I think acrylic paints are great. If I am doing an art journal, that's usually what I'm using for my background, which I haven't done one of those in so long. And I keep watching, I think Biddy's doing one. She's doing it of different locations, if I'm not mistaken. But art journals are wonderful. And they use up scraps. Alright, so I'm cleaning this up just a little bit. The ones that I didn't use, I am going to keep those, of course, because they can continue to be borders. They can be part of a background. Again, we can turn them into anything else that we would want it to be. My small scraps, I'm just gathering those up. The rest of them I'm just piling up, and they will go in my scrap bin. And I'll actually keep separate. Like I'll put it, like I have 12 by 12 folders. So I will put all of this together because this paper, it's kind of themed a little bit for me. So that I will do, just to keep that all together. And then the card bases that I didn't use, or the card design bases, I'll actually put those with the other bases that I have left. And I apologize if I threw something away somebody would have kept. Alright, so over time, we're going to work on our... We can look at our sentiments, give these just a few more minutes. This is almost dry. There's just a lot of bumps going on there. That's that one. And then here are our other two. So yeah, lots of drying needs to go on to that. And yeah, she's cracking. So it's kind of cool. So those are our 3 funky cards. I use stamps on alcohol, ink, and tiles. No, they don't. Alcohol, ink, and... No, they do not. I use... So, like, when I'm done, like this mat here or a glass mat, any mat that I work on, I use rubbing alcohol to clean it with, you know, a microfiber cloth. Yeah. So that rubbing alcohol is always near me, and I really need to move it. You guys have all heard the story where I was wetting watercolors and I used alcohol. Yep. They're fine. But it was the scream heard around the world when I did it. Yeah, very, very upsetting. And I think I was talking to Anthony at the time, actually, I think. And he just heard me scream and he's like, oh my God, what's wrong? I said, I just sprayed my watercolors with alcohol. And not the good kind. All right. So over the years, I'm a huge fan of Funny Bones, from Riley and Company. So I have a collection of their sarcastic and hysterical sentiments. So this is my collection. And I recently I was very good. I only bought two. There was more, but I only bought two. So these are the ones that I've gotten over time. If we all just stitched or switched to cursive and stick shift cars, we could cripple our entire generation, or an entire generation, right? Yep. Yes. What's this one? You all remember when we used to jump out of swings midair? Those knees were fresh out of the box. Yep, we used to do that. I did. Absolutely. Today, yeah, I couldn't even think about today. My age doesn't bother me. It's the side effects. Yes. Yep. Let's see. Today I learned the average American drops 80 to 90 cuss words a day at about 5 per hour. Today I also learned I'm above average in something. So these to me are just great. Crafting is a continual scavenger hunt for the supplies that were just in your hand. Right? Uh-huh. Just saying. Yes. And again, these cards that I make, remember, if they're not already grabbed, which these are not, they go into when people make purchase. So I just have fun with them. A lady never discusses the size of her craft stash. Yep. Nothing like the smell of freshly brewed magical psychotic rage stabilizer in the morning. It's called work from home coffee. It's just like normal coffee, but it has margarita in it and also no coffee. Just saying. I love these things. I love these things. Apparently, stress balls are not supposed to be thrown at people who stress you out. It's the same. This is the one that I used before, looking into essential oils. Which one is it that calms other people down? Chloroform. It's chloroform, isn't it? Yeah, I've used that one. Sarcasm. It's how I hug. Yes. Get well soon. I don't know why you are feeling poorly, but I'm telling everyone it was a pole dancing accident. I would do that. Let's all take a few moments to be thankful that I can't turn people into frogs. There's nothing quite as painful as suppressing a much-needed eye roll. See, and they're also me, because, yes, I believe stress balls should be thrown at people. Anyway, no matter how stupid you feel, remember Little Red Riding Hood couldn't figure out how a talking wolf in drag wasn't her grandmother. So, they make you giggle, they make you smile, and I just think that they are great. So I'm going to use the stress ball one. The margarita, because, yes. And I think crafting is a continuous scavenger hunt for things, because I do that all the time. So if you like funny or anything like that, they're called Funny Bones and they're by Riley and Company. They are just... There are so many more that I want. And again, it's a want. It's not a need. So if there's by chance, like let's say, as the paper collection that Tim Holtz is coming out with, the colorways, as that when the next color scheme comes out, I may look through and add a couple because I'm already there, and that, which is really good for me. because usually it's like 20 other things that I add while I'm there. So adding a sentiment, and they're at a great price because they're tiny. They're tiny and small. So I just think that's great. I just love them. I do. I just do. All right, I'm actually going to use one of my scraps. And we're going to get these stamped out. And I'm going to do the same thing that I did when it came to the focal points, where I put that black behind it. I'm going to do that too. And we'll be able... Well, no, this isn't going to be good. Okay, it could take me a while to get these open. Now, and the great thing with these, we don't have to, again, we don't have to put the sentiment on the outside of our card. These can go in the inside of the card. Any sentiment. And that's what we're going to do with these. We're going to put these on the inside of our card base once we can get them adhered to our card base. And plus, this might take me, they should be dry by the time I get these stamps out. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. And then I'm just going to move that there. I want room for cutting. I want this here. They're sticking to my fingers. And we will use our Claire. Perfect. And we'll, so I'm going to keep my fingers crossed that they're dry. Oh. Okay, we're going to go with it. All right, now I'm going to hit these panels with the gun too. just going to let that go. Yep, that's what we're going to do. So, to get these on my card bases, probably all sitting there going, okay, how's she going to do this one? Oh, yes, she's going to do it. She's going to take this. Again, this is that scratch paper. And I'm going to ink around the edge. And again, I'm just focusing on the edge. This is when an oopsie happens. I can't find my glue now. And I'm going to glue this to the card base. Make sure your card base is facing the right way. And now we'll do these two. Wow, okay. Oh, this is crafting at its best form. You don't have to ink around it. Because they're all cut to the same size. And before I put them on top, I'm going to cut out our sentiments. And yeah, I'm just going to, no, I'm not going to do that. I'll get my cutter out. And I'm just going to line it up to one of my gauges here without cutting off the G in Margarita and the Y. I hear yous. All right, I think we're going to put crafting on that one. Thought I cut that wrong. I think the stress ball should go to that one. And then margaritas need to go with the corgi. They're just fun sentiments. And what's great is, again, not everybody likes sarcasm, but this here, it's just something that's funny that will make somebody chuckle. You know, they're never, at least in my mind, they're never mean or cruel. Because there are some out there. But and it would be great if they are going to be at Craft Roulette, because I just would ask them, okay, who comes up with these? Because these are just awesome. And then our last one. And that one there. All right, so if I take the puppy, and of course it's going to go on an angle. And now what I can do is, since I have this panel here, all right, I can add my glue to this panel. Now, because we've got all of this stuff going on, I am going to use my tape. And I've never had it with, at least with this tape, I've never had a problem with it buckling or doing anything kind of sort of odd. What you need to make sure is when you cut your tape that you're staying within those, within this parameter of the piece. And then I'll just take the small ones and put it down. So if you do use, you know, a design base or a card panel or anything like that, and you do what I just did, and again, it could be because of time. It could be because, you know, if this was recorded, I would walk away from these, and then when I would come back, yes, they would be completely dry. But we're live. You know, what am I going to do? Say, okay, guys, I'm going to disconnect now, and I'm going to come back later on today so you can see these. Really? No. That's just, that's just not going to happen. And then I can remove the release papers. I just have to keep telling myself as I'm removing this release paper, and when I go to put this down, I'm going to line it up. I just can't touch these corners. So I'm going to push on the puppy. I'm going to go there, and then I'm just going to take my finger and push that down. And it's going to make contact with the tape. You're just going to put your finger where the one spot is. So that's one. Going to do our next one. And see, it's all good. Do you have to even put it onto your card base? No. I have lots of card panels that I've made that, now this one I can put the glue on, that I've made, and they're sitting in a box ready to be put on a card base. Because it's easier to store your cards sometimes that way for space. And again, even though the gold is dry, I don't want to push on top of that. And there's that one. And this one, yeah, I'm still going to use the tape because we do have, and what it is when that moisture comes out, it'll flatten itself up against this tape. And we're going to rinse and repeat. We're going to do the same thing. And again, all you're doing is just lining it up onto that panel that you've put down. And if it goes a little off, you're okay. I mean, it's just another color that's underneath. And again, I'm only touching it in the areas where I know. And of course that one's going to be huge. I like how that's separating there. And honestly, the top of this is dry. See? It is dry. It's just going to get through. As I keep... Okay. So something very different, but I love each and every one of these only because those animals are just, again, I love steampunk, love grunge. It's awesome. They're just fun. And then having the sentiments, again, do you even have to have a sentiment? No. What you write inside your card to your recipient is your sentiment. And again, I know I've said this before, but we do a lot of work on the outside sometimes on these cards. I don't want to cover it up with a sentiment. I don't care how small it is. And I don't want to make it teeny tiny so that my recipient has to strain their eyeballs to read it. Just saying. I'm just saying. Yes, those are the processes and thoughts that go through my mind. I know. It can be a little scary. My husband just looks at me when I come out with this and just walks away. It's just how I look. We do. We put a lot of work. Is this part dry? Oh, that one's not. No, say. I just had to do it, but that's okay. Um, but that's what we have. Now, for those of you that came in late this week, what also inspired these, so these were the first things that I saw. The cats were the first ones, fell in love, and then I saw the puppies with the corgi, had to have it. But you will see this project this coming week. This will be coming out during the week. This is the album that I couldn't get to last week with Scrappy Tales. So I modified putting this album, the pop-up book, together. And this is the acrylic paint. So that's why the acrylics were coming into the world. But all the die cuts were used. I even used some of the koi fish that we didn't use when I was practicing it. And then that's our scene inside. And then I also used acrylics on the back using her dies. So her die cuts were colored using acrylics because we can do that. We don't have to, again, maybe you don't have a lot of cardstock. Maybe you don't have, you just have that white. You can use anything you want to color. So this will be coming out, but that's what inspired this. Well, let's add some stenciling. Let's add some acrylics. Let's add this. Let's dig into our mixed media that I haven't dug into in so long. Because to me that's fun, where you just play. You see what's going to mix. You see what's going to not mix. It's not going to ruin anything. It's not going to destroy anything. This is the area where it bubbles with heat. So yeah, don't, watch what you're heating. Look for the bubbles. When it comes to that. But you can just have fun, whether you're just using your scraps and you want to put some stenciling on top of it and then put a sentiment. You can do that too. You don't have to have the focal point. Your sentiment can be the focal point when it comes to all of this, when it comes to your cards. And again, basically what I'm saying, create what you want. We don't have to do what everybody else is doing. We can go against the grain. We can be against the norm. I know I am. I like to push the supplies to see what they can and cannot do. It can get scary sometimes. There's a reason why my science professor in high school said, we're just going to make you pass this course because, no. I wanted to see what it would do if I mixed things together. Obviously, I shouldn't mix some things together. But it's been that long that I've done those things. So have fun with it. You look at what was done here and use what you have. So if you don't have acrylics, use watercolors. Make a puddle of watercolor, pick it up with a sponge, and put it through your stencil. Why not? You'll get the same results. You'll get the same results, but it'll look different because you're using a different medium. All right. So I do hope you enjoyed this. I will be back next Sunday. As I say that, I'm making sure. What is next Sunday? It is the 3rd. So yes, I will be here. And since it's the first Sunday of the month, we will be tangling. All right. We're going to do some things because May, for the tangling, for Zentangle World and Zentangle Inc., it is the well-being for Mental Health Month. All right, so we're going to do something with that. I'm going to have something set up just a little bit differently on that so that together we can tangle and recognize mental health, because it is okay to not be okay. All right, that's what I like to say, for being a mental health counselor also on a construction site. Yep, I say that to very big men. Yes, and they listen. All right, so we'll be doing that. And then we'll also be doing a project within the membership, as well. So we're going to be doing a couple different things throughout the membership. But I wanted to make sure you guys had it, that you could celebrate, and honor it here as well. So we'll be doing that. And I don't think I can think of anything else. I want to say thank you to everyone again who's here on the Sundays, who watch my videos, who's part of my membership, who's made purchase of my stamps. Thanks to all of you. I'm truly grateful. I am honored, that I'm part of your creative journey. Very much so. I love that fact. And I know I was not keeping eye um, on the chat, so I apologize to that. So I hope I didn't. What was the name of the group we post in? What's the name of the group we post in? So Linda, see, I saw that as I scroll back. Thank you, and because you even added the capital letters. Um, so if you're talking about, so if you're part of the membership, when you choose, uh, when you go to my homepage, you'll see community or you'll see post. All right. If I remember this correctly. So if you choose post, then it's going to go out to everyone. I believe, though, in the upper right hand corner, you should choose what level. So you can choose all members, but you can also choose Paper Zen or Paper. So yeah, I think you'll only be able to choose Paper Zen and all members. Or if you click on community, you'll go to that tab and you'll just be able to post there. And I believe you'll be able to post where you want that to go. So if you want everybody here on the channel to see it, you would choose, all members. If you just want your membership group to see that, then you would just choose Paper Zen. And then it'll just show there. And I'll be able, of course, to see that, when it comes to that. Dama, have a good day. Thank you so much for being here. So I think you can look for community. And again, you should be able to choose where you want that to go. If you don't see a choice, then that means it's going to go out to everyone. And again, you don't just have to put pictures. You can ask a question in community and all of that fun stuff. So I think the community is where you go. I don't think you can post. You want to hit community. Because that's open for everybody, not just the membership. Everyone on the channel can go to community and start a thing. Just know that it is moderated, because again, I want to keep this channel is a safe space. It's a fun space. Sometimes it's a sarcastic and sadistic a little times, but it is going to be a very kind space. So if I see anything that goes off that, it just goes away. I will remove it. And if that person wants to get upset with me, go ahead. I don't care. But no one will be mean in any way, shape, or form. And if you get frustrated, I get that. Just breathe first. All right, so that is there. But again, thank you. Thank you for letting me be part of your creative journey. I truly am honored. All right, guys, if you have any questions, you know how to get a hold of me. I will make sure I will put the link. Now I'm going to wait a little bit. I do want these to dry just a little bit more before I take, the picture of these. So probably in about an hour, I'll have the final picture up, and then I'll link to, Fiber or Fable Art Co. That they are the designers of these, and I'll put the link if you wanted to check them out. Again, no affiliates, no nothing on that. All right. Everything else, just have fun with your scraps. Have a great week. I will see you next Sunday. Take care. And again, if I did miss any questions, just reach out. Just get me. Take care, guys. Bye.